Hey, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm glad you found your way to this channel. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, you already know we don't do fluff over here, honey. No, we don't do that. What we do is we build real income, okay? Real systems, ecosystems, real streams. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite ones. And honestly, one that I think is the most underrated quiet income stream out there. And so we're going to talk about publishing, KDP publishing specifically, and not a big 300-page novel type of thing. I'm talking about short books. I call them mini her books, okay? Books that you can write, publish, and it will have you earning in way less time than you think, okay? Now, I do want to tell you how I got here because this is not a story that started with me being this long life writer who always dreamed of being an author. It started with a book. It started with one book that completely changed how I thought about publishing as a business. Okay. And from that point forward, I have not looked back. Okay. I have not looked back. So grab your tea, your water, whatever you got going on today, and we're going to get into it. I got coffee today. I also have my Alani. So I have the Dream Float today. We got Dream Float. I have downsized to the mini cans because I found out I wasn't drinking the whole cans. So y'all know how I feel about Alani over here. So yeah, we gonna drink her as well. I might not drink her through the video, but I got the coffee. If you saw my post here on YouTube, yeah, the coffee that I'm drinking, I got some of that today. I haven't had any in maybe a week or so. Yeah, since I got back from Atlanta, I haven't had any. Yeah, I think the last time I had some was probably 2 or 3 videos ago with you guys when I talked about it. So I'm not addicted. Now, on the other hand, yeah, I kind of gotta have one every day. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm gonna take you back to maybe 2024, 2025. I came across a book by Michele Kulp, okay, called 28 Books to 100K. And girl, when I tell you that book shifted something in me, I mean it literally. It rewired how I looked at publishing as an income stream. Now, Michele has a framework and she built it around books that are 100 pages or less. And like that was the first thing that caught my attention because when most people think about writing a book, they think about years of work, years, hundreds of pages, a publishing deal, and all that. Okay. That's not what she was talking about. She was talking about short, focused, valuable books published consistently. Okay, that's right there is what add up the real income over time. Now, her whole framework is publishing a book every month. Okay, one book every month. And when I sat with that idea, I was like, wait, this is actually doable. Like, it's not overwhelming. It's a system, right? And you know how I feel about systems. Okay, I like the ecosystem. I like things working together. So the idea of building a library of books, the same way I talk about building a library of YouTube videos, one at a time, compounding over time, that just made it. It made complete sense to me. Okay, so when I went on my own little quest from there. And that's what I found for me personally. Like 100 pages still felt like a lot. For me, the sweet spot, 50 pages or less. Yeah. And that's where the concept of mini her books was officially born. Let me tell you what mini her books actually is and why I kind of landed there specifically. So many her books is my nonfiction short book brand. Okay, so we're talking books that are 50 pages or less. They're very focused, very specific, of all the way valuable and done. No fluff, no padding, no filler things. Just the thing that someone needs to know, deliver it clearly and concisely, and that's it. And here's what I found out too on this quest, that the format actually serves the reader better in a lot of cases. Like, because people are busy, right? You're busy, we busy, we busy. But people don't always have time to sit down with a 300-page book. Now, some people do. I'm not talking about those people. But there are people that will read a well-written 40-page book on a topic that solves a real problem for them, and they will pay for it, and they will leave reviews, and they will buy the next one. Now, I do want to be very, very clear. This model does look different depending on your genre. Okay. For me, nonfiction is the best. It's the girl. Okay. Short books work incredibly well for nonfiction because people are coming with specific questions or problems and they want the answer. Now, for fiction, the short book model could look a little different. Novellas, short story collections, serial fiction, it's still a thing, but the strategy is a little different. So, what I'm talking about today is coming specifically from the experience in nonfiction. That's my lane. That's what I personally know. But I will say, okay, I have some writing friends who have also caught on to this short book model and they are running with it with their own genres, doing very well. Okay, I have a friend, his name is JR. He writes, and we follow each other on Substack and Medium and things like that. And he calls his, I call my books mini her books. He called them minimalist books, or sometimes no, that's Jamie. Jamie calls them minimalist books. I got two friends, JR and Jamie. So Jamie calls them minimalist books. JR will say minimalist books sometimes, but now I think now he's into short. He may use the word short books. I've even seen someone use the word tiny books. Okay. Just know all of us are out here kind of like doing the same thing, but I'm very specific with mine because I wanted to be very specific. But what was I saying? JR. Okay. So JR is a Christian like myself. So he has wrote short books in a category in Christian, in writing in, I don't know, think about the category on Amazon. But he's a Christian, so he wrote a short book about John, about Luke. He wrote a short book about different books of the Bible, basically. So he has that genre, and then he did say here recently he started navigating into fiction as well, and that's doing very well. So I'm saying all that to say that what I teach, it could work for your genre. I just don't have experience in that genre, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm going to say that transparently. I don't have experience in fiction. I don't know if I would write fiction. I thought about a fiction category I wanted to write in, but anyways. So that's that. Okay. So just know that if you are thinking about a different genre, that it could work. Okay. What I teach, it could work. I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just coming from a place of transparency that all I know is nonfiction, girl. All I know is taking what I know, okay, taking what I teach and turning it into short books. That's what your girl knows. Why KDP, right? Why Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing over all the other options out there? Because there are a lot. I'm going to give you an honest answer for me. I love KDP because I do not have to ship anything. Yeah, like that right there is enough for me to say, okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom, homeschool mom. I'm running multiple income streams. And the last thing I need is to be packing boxes, running to the post office. No, thank you. Okay, that's for me. Now with KDP, when someone buys your book, whether it's digital Kindle version or the print copy, Amazon handles everything. The printing, the shipping, the delivery, all of it. I don't touch it. I don't see it. I just get paid. Now, yes, KDP takes their royalties. They get their cut, and I am completely okay with that because what they give me in exchange is time. I like my time more than money. And honey, time is one of the things I'm just not willing to trade cheaply for. So my time is worth more to me than trying to manage the fulfillment myself. That's just me. Okay. To me, that's a soft, quiet business model. Okay, that's what it means to me. And there's another reason why I love KDP specifically because of Amazon's algorithm. So here's what I learned about how Amazon works. So the more you publish, the more Amazon pushes your books in front of buyers. There's a real algorithmic or algorithm advantage to publishing consistently and publishing frequently. Every new book you add to your catalog increases the chance that someone will find you, click on your author page, and buy more than one book. It just compounds. It's the compound effect. That's what works. Just like YouTube videos compound, just like your content compounds. It's the same principle that's applied to publishing. That's why publishing a book a month model is not just what I want, like motivational advice. It's actually like it's a business strategy that aligns with how the actual platform works. So that's why I am, yeah. And then the fact that, yes, and I know some of you like, AI makes it faster. Okay. AI personally does not write my books for me. I run AI. AI does not run me. I input what I want it to say. Okay. I input what I want to write. Because remember, your girl got a ton of videos. So I can take transcripts and put certain videos together and make books. Honey, I could take things, I can make books out just about, I can look at content and say, hey, you got this such and such pieces of content that, that needs to be a book. I can take this video right here and make it a book. Yeah, make it a mini her book. So it's like, I that's why I'm not married to page count. I'm not married to page count. Some people are. I'm not. Okay. I will publish I think on Amazon, you can have up to, in order to get a print copy, you need to have, is it 15 pages? I had to go back and research, but it's a low number. Okay. I will create a 4x6, a little small pocket book out of 15 pages and call it a book. Don't play with me. Don't play with me because I will. Okay, that's how I think about books. I love to repurpose my content anyway. So even yesterday, I was sitting down looking at my books because I have gotten behind. Can I say I got way behind in my books, but for good reason. My eyes have, I've been traveling and with my husband, so I've been, that's been taking a precedence because he's doing his thing, he's making money, so I'm helping him, so I love to travel, so my publishing has taken a backseat. But yesterday I had to sit down and plan out my books. And I said, okay, Sharlrita, you got to get these books going because I already see the potential. I already know. Once I put some Amazon ads behind, I like, especially in series. I'm going to talk about that more because I love writing in series. I love reading in series. So that's my thing right there. Oh, that's my thing. But we're going to talk about that. Get a little practical, okay? Because I don't want this to just be like inspiration to you. This video, I want to give you an understanding on what this looks like day to day. Publishing a short nonfiction book, 50 pages or less, it's not as overwhelming as it sounds when you break it down. Here's how I personally think about it. First, you pick a focused topic, not a broad topic, but be very specific, a searchable one. I want you to think about questions that people are actually asking in your niche or niche, whichever word you say. Okay. Like, what do they want to learn? What problem do they need solving? The more specific I find that you are with your topic, the more targeted your reader, and your targeted reader is a buyer. Okay. Then you outline it. Short books actually require a tighter outline than longer books because you don't have to worry about pages, okay? Every chapter has a job. Every section has to earn its place. That right there actually makes you a better writer. So then you talk about writing it, okay? I personally use videos that I already have. Okay. Um, they have a section in Boss Suite as well. I've been talking about Boss Suite. Now they're not focused on nonfiction books like I am. I think they're more focused on children's books. I think I've seen children's coloring books, things like that. Like that's a thing, right? It's a thing. If you go on Amazon and you are looking to buy children's books, coloring books, remember those are made by people. Amazon don't make those things. Those are made by people. And when you understand that, it does open up your mind to another level of publishing. It opens up your mind to another level of income as well. You have an understanding that, okay, this is how the business works. Okay. So when you write it again, whether you use AI or not, it's up to you. Now, I wouldn't just tell AI to write a book about this topic, especially if I'm not an expert. I don't, let's take expert out of it, especially if it's not something that I have experience in, right? Like even now, let's say for example, my husband just launched his book called The New Era of Wealth. Let me see if I got a copy so I can show you. All right, so here's his book right here. Of course, it's not a mini her book. It's thick. She thick. Called The New Era of Wealth. It's about building legacy in the age of digital assets. Of course, I'm gonna put his link in the description if you guys want to check it out, but you can. It's a really good book, and I'm not just saying that because he's my husband, but because I know his voice, and so when I read it, I'm reading it from his voice. I just flew up them stairs. Yeah, they were on his desk, so I had to grab it from his desk and run stairs. But anyways, so this is his job. He's all about wealth building. I talked about tokenized real estate on here on the channel for a little bit. But that's his area of expertise. So he can write about this, plus his years of being at the bank and all those great things. So he can write about that, right? Write about what you know. And please don't say, well, Sharlrita, I don't think I know much. You do. I promise you do. If I ask you some questions, you do. You do. You just think little of it. Okay? That's another side note. Stop thinking little of what you know. Because what you may think is little, somebody thinks it's big, honey. So somebody be like, when I talk about publishing and things like that, and I talk to people, people are like amazed. And to me, I'm like, it's just this, and this. And they're like, it's not an everyday thing for them. So stop making light on what you know, okay? But again, I can't write about the new era of wealth. Okay, this is what he can write about. So write about. That's why I love nonfiction because I think we all know some things that we can write about that can help other people. Okay, not just I'm not really a fan of you sharing your story in a book in that way. Now, Anthony did a great job in the first chapter. I think it was the first chapter. He shared a little of his background because he set the book up so good so that you will want to hear what he had to say about the new era wealth. So there's nothing wrong with sharing your story, but I just don't like full books just sharing your story unless you're like famous or someone that has all this notoriety. Can I tell you this? And I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but people don't care. They don't care. They really don't. You will get people to support you because it's you, but to really have that notoriety around it or people continue to buy it, most times, especially us that we're not famous, right? We're just not famous. I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, right? Publish what you know about. Okay, let me get back into the steps because I'm rambling. All right, so I was talking about the writing when you write the book, right? Sit down, have a focus hour or two a few times a week, and your book can get done. It does not have to be a marathon, okay? It can be a consistent, quiet practice that you do maybe an hour before you go to work, before you go to bed, okay? Then you format it and it uploaded to KDP. Now, formatting is its own thing There are tools to help you. There are people on Fiverr that can get it done for you. Okay. I get into that in another video, but KDP's inner surface is honestly very user friendly. Once you know it, you put your price in, choose your category, write your description, and you publish. Okay. Then do it again next month. That's the model right there. That's how you build a library of books. Okay. I know I didn't go into more depth. If you want the depth, if you like that person that likes that step by step, do this, then join the YouTube membership. I got videos there, and I'm going to have some mini courses and things like that coming out for you too. But yeah, in these videos, that's the framework that I want you to have. Okay. That you know what to do when it comes to publishing your book. Now, I want to spend just a minute on this because this is the reason why I keep coming back to this income stream, even when I have a lot of other things going on. KDP Publishing, specifically this short book model, is one of the most, I believe, life friendly income streams I found. And let me tell you why. Once a book is published, it earns passively. I'm not doing customer service for it. I'm not showing up live for it. I'm not shipping it. It sits on Amazon and it earns. Okay. Is it every single day? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's no guarantee. Okay. But it does sell, including days when I'm traveling with Anthony, when I'm homeschooling, when I'm focused on my e-estate content, when I'm just living my life. The writing is the only active part for that. And plus, I do run Amazon ads. I'm going to say that. I use Amazon ads. And even that can be done quietly. It's not very, very expensive. You can do this on your own schedule, on your own time. I don't need a camera. I don't even need to show my face. I don't even have to say my name. That's the part right there. I don't have to publish these books in my name. You can use a pen name, okay, that you make up. It doesn't have to be you. So if you're looking at this and you like, you know what? I can see the possibility in this. You don't have to do pen names, okay? My best resource for you is either the mini her book starter kits or even the YouTube membership. On my YouTube membership, I always show more behind the scenes on what I am doing. If you're interested in that. But yeah, I just uploaded a video yesterday telling them my strategy for getting these books done quickly and how I had to shift a little bit of my titles and things like that because and even Canva was acting a mess yesterday. I couldn't find the color palettes. Yeah, so it was a piece of work. But yeah, this is a quiet income because you can do this without showing your face. You can do this without it being in your name. Okay. Also, I'm not going to say this is the most cost effective because it does take money. Okay. It takes money. Now, I personally make my own book covers and I did that not because of cost. I just did it because I know that I'm going to be rapidly publishing and I wanted to have my covers done like that. Plus, I have templates. I have that in the starter kit too. I have book cover templates in the starter kit. You can use those, recreate them, do all those things. But I have those too. So I'm going to use the tools that I already have. The only thing I really, really pay for, to be honest, is my ISBN. Of course, my ISBN number. I buy a pack of those at a time. It's another thing I pay for. The formatting of the book. I don't do formatting. I don't even try to format it. I get somebody else to do it. So that's like my major cost, and that's not even a lot to me. And the Amazon ads. Okay, and I can turn those on and off based on my budget. If I know, okay, let me look at my sales versus the ads. Is that adding up? No, let me turn these off. Let's recalibrate. Okay. I like to write in series. So even if I'm writing a new series, which I'm getting ready to this month in April, I don't turn ads on until like my third book. Because here's my thought process. If you find me, whichever book, you at least get two more books that you can purchase from me. So I normally don't start ads until book number 3. So here's the thing too. Like When I was talking about you don't need to show your face, you can do this without even your name. You can use a pen name. I personally just need to know there's something worth sharing and the ability to put it into words. That's it. That's all I need. I got content already. And for women who love to write, or even women who have never thought of themselves as being writers, but have knowledge worth sharing, like this model is so accessible. You don't need a literary agent to tell you if it's good or not. You don't need a traditional publisher. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need KDP, okay? And you need something worth saying. To me, that is a soft, quiet business, honey, okay? And I'm here for it. I'm here for every bit of it, especially if you got blog posts, you have content already. Okay, if you don't have content, yes, it's gonna look a lot different than us that have content. If you have videos, like I got so many videos sitting in my Loom account. That's crazy. I got to go through it and see if it's worth, publishing. But if you have those things, yeah. I just had a thought just a minute ago, and it's like, Sharlrita, you got so many books that you need to be working on. You need to get to work, honey. Okay, you need to stop being distracted and get to work, because there's so much content I have that I can turn into books that is crazy. It's crazy, and I just know in my feelings, even after reading Michelle's book, that this can be done. That you can. There's a ton of examples of people that make a living just publishing books. Not just books that I had, like not just nonfiction. There's fiction examples. There's romance authors out there. There is even my girl Kim George. She teaches low content books, more so like medium content books now, like puzzle books. How do you think those things get up there? It's from people. So Kim George teaches that. Um, Journals, planners, those type of things. People make a living doing just that. But you know what? Everybody has in common that makes a full time. My income is not full time with just publishing. It can be, and that's the thought that came to my mind. It's like, Sharlrita, you could have been, you know how you had those epiphany moments, like, girl, you could have been. You know what you could have been, but we're not gonna focus on what we could have been. What we're gonna do going forward. There's so many examples of women, men that make a living just from publishing books. It's a popular coloring book brand out there that I see. Every time I see someone, making Easter baskets and things, that coloring book, their coloring book is in their basket. Can't think of the name of them, but their coloring book is in their they have entire brands. So branding does matter, and Kim Joyce taught me that branding matters, not just the colors, okay, but just the overall brand and what you're publishing. Okay, I ain't get up here to teach all this stuff, but it's just some things that I want you to think about. So it's possible if you're thinking about it. Could I make a living doing this? Yes. Is it going to happen with one book? No. It takes multiple books. So you already have to know this takes multiple books. You can have book 5 pop off. You can have book 10 pop off. But those that really, really get it and make the good money, they keep going. They keep going no matter what. I could talk about this all day. Okay. All day I could talk about this. But I got to give you some action steps before you go. That's my thing. I need you to take action. Just one thing I want you to take action on, because that's what we do over here, okay? I want you to go and get Michele Kulp's book, 28 Books to 100K. I put it in the comments. I want you to read it, or at minimum, look up and see what she's all about. Look at her catalog of books. Let it shift your thinking about publishing and what it could look like, because that book is what sent me down this path. Okay. It's the path that has been one of the best decisions that I've made. And I keep coming back to it. So if the mini her book model is something that you want to learn, more about short books, nonfiction, publishing fast, consistently, read that book. Also, you can grab my mini her book starter kit. Okay. I got more content coming as well. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss anything. I got some more content. I got some good stuff coming. Okay. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up. It does help more people to find my content. And that really matters to me. Thank y'all for allowing me to be monetized. It's because of you. Okay. Make sure you say hi to me in the comments and tell me, are you a writer? Like, have you ever thought about publishing? I want to know where you are in your journey. Okay. We have the ability to do voice notes now. So I may do a voice note. Okay. I'm always over here building quietly. I'm always cheering for you behind the scenes. Okay. That's what I do. Now, go start your book, okay? I'll see you in the next video and make sure that you take care of yourself. Bye.